Good day everyone! My name is Risha May S. Ugay and I am your moderator for today's virtual debate. Together with my fellow groupmates, we will be having a virtual debate about the controversy of the cry of Pugad Lawin versus Balintawak, a marked beginning of the Philippines Revolution in 1896 which ultimately led to Philippine independence in 1896. We have two sides, debaters defending each stand. We have here the debaters of the cry of Balintawak. Let's proceed. Let's call the debaters of the cry of Pugad Lawin. Good day everyone. The first account will be presenting the cry of Balintawak together with Miss Ezekiah Mika Tabaldo.
Thank you, Miss Ugay.
Thank you.
Here is Guillermo Masangkay's account. Guillermo Masangkay is an eyewitness of that event and a friend of Bonifacio. In Guillermo Masangkay's account, on the first cry happened in Balintawak on August 26, 1896, at the house of Aponilio Samson. The big meeting of leaders held, and after the discussion, Andres Bonifacio left the session hall and he told the people the outcome of the meeting. The people wants to revolt against the Spaniards, and then he asked them if they are ready to revolt. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Ezekiah Mika Tabaldo. Now that we have heard the side of the cry of Balintawak, we will be proceeding to the side of the cry of Pugad Lawin.
The first place of the refuge of Andres Bonifacio, Emilio Jacinto, Procopio Bonifacio, Teodoro Plata, Aguedo de Rosario, and Pio Valenzuela was at Pugad Lawin. In the house, the storehouse and yard of Juan Ramos, son of Melchor Aquino, where 1,000 members of Katipunan met and carried out considerable debate and discussion on August 23, 1896.
Thank you, Mr. Carlton. Now that we have heard the side of the cry of Pugad Lawin, we will be proceeding to the side of the cry of Balintawak.
The Lieutenant Olegario Diaz, who was an officer of the Spanish Guardia Civil, stated that the cry happened in Balintawak on the month of August 25, 1896. The historian named Teodoro Kawal wrote in his 1925 book entitled The Filipino Revolution that the cry took place during the final week of the August 1896 at Kangkong, Balintawak.
Thank you, Miss Kathleen Vidad. Now that we have heard the side of Balintawak, we will be proceeding to the side of Pugad Lawin.
Thank you, Miss. Well, I appreciate the cautious approach highlighted by these incredible speakers. I think it is incredible for us to recognize the stance of Santiago Alvarez. If you haven't heard of it, Santiago Alvarez, also referred to as Kidlat ng Apoy, isa ka Timonero, and the son of Mariano Alvarez and Nicolasa Virata. Furthermore, Santiago was already a Delegado General of the Provincial Council of the Katipunan in Cavite. He became Captain General and later Commander-in-Chief of the Magdiwang forces who valiantly fought the Spaniards from 1896 to 1897. With that being said, his historical account is more reliable to believe in identifying the specific location and date of the said event per se. Moreover, in 1972, he explicitly claimed that on August 24, 1896, the cry of rebellion occurred in Bahay Toro, which is now a part of Quezon City, and that is all.
Thank you. Now that we have heard the side of Pugad Lawin, we will be proceeding to the side of Balintawak.
Even though Gregoria de Jesus was most not important participant in the Philippine Revolution, she have been the strength of the revolution, hiding their ammunition in the custodian of the secret documentation in which were prepared to die for. She suffered the pain of being a patriot against the Spanish government, even though she could have lived a normal life away from conflict and chaos. She chose not to. To her, a life lived under someone's dictation is a life not worth living for. Even though she is just a woman, she did much more what most men at that time could have done. In addition, according to Gregorio de Jesus, the cry for revolution started on August 25, 1896 in the place they called Pasong Tamo, Caloocan at Balintawak boundary.
Thank you, Miss Aliyah Caril Rivera.
Thank you, Miss.
Now that we have heard the side of each debaters, according to the judge, the cry of Pugad Lawin cannot be accepted as historically accurate. It lacks positive documentation and supporting evidence from the witnesses. So I would like to inform you all which team wins in virtual debate, which is the cry of Balintawak. I really appreciate the presenters or debaters and congratulate all the students in our virtual debate. For further understanding, we have prepared a short video reporting about the cry of revolution. Might as well introduce to you the group members of Group 5. We have Cathy Chandria Vidad, Ezekiel Mika Tabaldo, Carl C. Tan, Aliyah Caril Rivera, Prince Kirsten Sevilla, and lastly, Risha May S. Ugay. And the contents of this video reporting are historical context, the cry for revolution, symbolism and impact, path to independence, legacy, remembering Balintawak, and lastly, important point to remember. Balintawak holds a significant place in Philippine history as a crucial site for the Philippine Revolution against Spanish colonial rule. It was here that a fervent call for a nationwide revolution was sounded, initiating a pivotal chapter in the country's struggle for independence. So here is the historical context of the cry of revolution. In the late 1800s, the Philippines was under Spanish colonial rule, marked by oppressive governance and exploitation. The desire for freedom and self-determination grew among Filipinos, leading to the formation of various revolutionary movements. So as we can see from these images, the Filipino people faced dire circumstances under Spanish colonial governance, enduring exploitation and restricted rights. So makikita natin yung mga fellow Filipino natin dati na they are forced to work kahit ayaw naman nila. Kasi way back then, if you are not following their orders, instant patay ka talaga. In terms of restricted rights, one of these is you are restricted from going to other church or you are not allowed to have another religion if it is not Catholic. Because, di ba, as far as we can remember, the Spaniards introduced the Catholic sa Pilipinas, di ba? But then, as time goes by, na-embed na sa mga Filipinos na Catholic yung religion nila kasi nga, di ba? We are forced to be a Catholic way back then. In response to these injustices, Filipinos began forming revolutionary movements such as the Katipunan, aiming to fight for their independence through organized resistance against the Spanish colonizers. So, makikita natin si Andres Bonifacio dito, At yung tinatag niya na samahan, which is KKK, and that means, that stands for Kataas-taasang Kagalang-galangang Katipunan. These movements gain a momentum and unity, driven by the shared aspiration for national identity and self-governance. The late 19th century Philippines serves as a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Filipino people in the pursuit of freedom and self-determination. So let's go to the cry for revolution. The events at Balintawak unfolded in August 1896, led by Andres Bonifacio and the Katipunan, a secret revolutionary society. Filipinos gathered in Balintawak to discuss their grievances and plan a rebellion against Spanish rule. On August 23, 1896, Bonifacio and his followers tore their cedulas, or residence certificates, symbolizing their defiance against Spanish authority. This act marked the start of the revolution and the iconic cry of Balintawak. Led by the courageous Andres Bonifacio and the clandestine revolutionary group, the Katipunan, Filipinos gathered in Balintawak to discuss their grievances and strategize a revolt against the oppressive Spanish colonial rule. On that historic day, August 23, 1896, Bonifacio and his fellow compatriots made a symbolic statement by tearing their cedulas or residence certificates, defying the authority of the Spanish colonial government. This defiant act marked the commencement of the Philippine Revolution, a poignant moment in history known as the Cry of Balintawak, signifying the collective outcry for independence and self-determination. The events at Balintawak stand as a poignant reminder of the unwavering spirit and determination of the Filipino people in their quest for freedom from colonial oppression. Please proceed, Ms. Izikaya.
Symbolism and impact. The cry of Balintawak represented a collective yearning for liberty and justice. The tearing of cedulas became a powerful symbol of resistance, uniting Filipinos in their fight against oppression. So with that, this act of defiance inspired widespread uprisings across the Philippines, leading to a nationwide revolution that spread rapidly. Path to independence. The cry of Balintawak ignited the flames of rebellion. It inspired more Filipinos to join the cause and take up arms against the Spanish colonizers. The revolution evolved into a prolonged struggle for independence, marked by battles, sacrifices, and determination. Thus, the legacy of the cry of Balintawak is profound. It stands as a testament to the resilience and bravery of the Filipino people in their fight against oppression. The events that unfolded during this time paved the way for the eventual overthrow of Spanish rule and the establishment of an independent Philippines. The cry of Balintawak serves as a reminder of the sacrifices made by the past generations and continues to inspire future generations in their pursuit of freedom and justice.
Much obliged, Ms. Ezekia. Thus, in keeping with what has been discussed, it is equally important to remember Balintawak, knowing it's not just an event unintentionally occurred. So much more, Balintawak's significance stands as a testament to the bravery and unwavering spirit of Filipinos in their pursuit of freedom. This explains the historical importance of Balintawak in the context of Filipino history. In case you're unaware, Balintawak is associated with the Cry of Balintawak, which was a significant event during the Philippine Revolution against Spanish colonial rule. This emphasizes that the location of Balintawak serves as a powerful symbol of the courage and resilience of the Filipino people. It represents their steadfast determination and bravery in fighting for their freedom and independence. The legacy of Balintawak holds deep historical and cultural significance, symbolizing the spirit of the Filipino people in quest for liberation. On top of that, the Cry of Balintawak is commemorated through monuments, markers, and historical sites nowadays. With that, the physical tributes and historical preservations have erected in various locations to honor and remember the events that took place at Balintawak. These physical tributes serves as a constant reminder of the sacrifices made and the bravery exhibited during the Cry of Rebellion. They also play a crucial role in preserving and sharing this significant part of Philippine history with present and future generations, ensuring that the courage and struggle of those involved are not forgotten. Now let's turn our attention to Miss Alia Rivera, who will guide us through finer details of points to remember in this topic. So go ahead, Miss Alia, the floor is yours.
Raging controversy, conflicting accounts. The Cry of Balintawak, a viral moment in Philippine history, is shrouded in controversy.
On August 26, 1896, in Barrio Balintawak, it marked the beginning of the Philippine Revolution against Spanish colonial rule. Accounts vary regarding its causes and significance. Conflicting narratives from oral history and official records highlight the complexities of historical event. Despite controversies, Balintawak's impact on the Philippines remains profound, inspiring resistance and leading to the Declaration of Independence on June 12, 1898. This event underscores the importance of acknowledging diverse perspectives in shaping our historical understanding.
Cartographic changes. Over time, changes in maps and place names can create uncertainty about the exact whereabouts of Balintawak and Pugadlawin. Different maps and sources might present diverse boundaries and names for the same region, leading to confusion. Determining the date. A difficulty arises in pinpointing the specific date of the events in Balintawak. Diverse historical records offer conflicting dates, complicating the understanding of the significant moment in Philippine history.
The turning point. Despite these controversies and uncertainties, the event at Balintawak are considered a turning point in the Philippine Revolution. The call for revolution marked the beginning for a larger movement against Spanish colonial rule, eventually leading to a fight for independence. In simpler terms, Balintawak is a place where an important event happened during the fight against Spanish rule in the Philippines. People argue about the details of what exactly happened there. There's a marker there that reminds us of the call for a revolution led by Andres Bonifacio. The location and names on the map can be changed, making it tricky to know exactly where everything occurred. Also, there's a debate about the exact date of the event. Despite all this, what happened in Balintawak marked a big change in the fight for freedom from the Spanish rule.